Hey, thanks for joining my channel again. This is going to be another quick install video on my Rubicon Gladiator. What I'm doing today is I'm finally putting on these Auxbeam 3-inch pods. I'm going to put those on the Jeep today. It's finally warmed up a little bit, so these guys are going to go on. I've put the amber casing on first. I'll see how I like that, and if not, I can always put the clears on. I've got a little video here and showing you how easy it is to switch these. It takes literally like 2 minutes, if that. So we'll put these on together. The other cool thing is I have these KC A-pillar mounts. There's an unboxing video on my channel, you can check it out. These are really, really nice. I love the way that they made these. They seem to just be a little bit higher up so the bolt won't touch it all, touch the paint or rust or whatever. They were pricey though, but they're the best ones out there. So thank you for joining my channel again and watching my horrible videos. So please like, subscribe, comment, whatever you like. I know you like to comment, and that's fine. I like to answer your comments. Thanks again for watching my videos, and yeah, have a great day. Okay, so what I did is, this is how the Auxbeams come. They come just like with no lens on, no lens, but they have a clear filter on. I took the other one off of that and just put the amber on. I think for the snow and for bad weather around here, I think it might be better. I'll try like that. You can always switch it out. It's super easy to switch out. So what I thought I'd do is I'd just show you how quickly you can switch them out from the clear to the amber. So we'll switch those out right now. Show you how easy it is. I'm not sure what size I used. It's pretty small. Let's see, my eyes suck because I'm an old man. And oh, I see 3. It says 3 on there. So I'm not sure if that helps anybody, but there we go. So we'll just, we'll take this off. Peel back this plastic just a little bit. Just make sure let's make sure we're loosening it. So we'll take these off right now. And we're just, what I'm doing is I'm loosening them all first before I actually take them all out. I found that to be a little bit easier. There we go. And then all I do is I just took that off, so I just had it loose. That way you can just jump these off. It's super easy. They're not in that deep. They're not very deep bolts or screws. I don't know what these would be. I think these are, I don't know, you classify these as, but they're not very deep. There we go. One more and I think we're good. Almost good. Okay. There we go. So all the bolts are out here. And then that, keep the plastic on it. There we go. The clear one's out, and then you're just left with this guy here. Right, Auxbeam of course will go on top. And then when you're using the amber, from the pictures I saw online from Auxbeam themselves, it's going to be with your grate here, your grill, at the bottom of the light. Just line those back up again. Just take our screws. Again, the way we took them out, we'll just put them back in. Finger tight so it's not over tightened, so you don't strip it, because it is aluminum housing. So the last thing you want to do is strip anything aluminum. I've done that years ago, and that was a pain in my butt. So You don't want to over tight. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but my big ass hands are in the way here of the camera. But yeah, just putting these in finger tight. And like I was saying, it's an aluminum housing, so you do not want to over tighten these. So get them down so you can't really do it anymore with your fingers. There we go. Once you've got them finger tightened like that, get your wrench again, put it back in tightening, and just you're gonna cross it. So you don't go too tight, like that, up to the top. There you go. You're just gonna cinch it, just gonna cinch it up. That's all you're doing. There we go. There we go. We are cinched up. So there we go. Both lights are now ready to rock and roll and go on for the install onto the Jeep. Okay, so before we put these on and get the install started, let's just put together the lights as well. And I'm glad I thought I'd look at it all first just to check it out. So the bolt that Auxbeam gives you for their mount fits perfectly. You know, it even holds in place. It's been designed, right, to make your life easier, right? When you're bolting it on, it stays in place real nice. One problem. The KC mount doesn't allow you to get that bolt through, and I don't feel like drilling it out and wrecking the paint. Do not feel like that at all. So what I will do instead is I had some grade 8 bolts laying around. Again, that's a bit overkill, but they fit through nicely. They do not line up with that, but I've got a 14mm wrench that I can just slide through, hold it down, and we should be good to go. The good news is that fits through perfect without having to worry about wrecking the paint or any of that kind of stuff. So I found that out the hard way, but I found it out before I got out there and started doing it. So let's just put these together, right? It gives you all the parts you need, gives you all the washers, right? Lug nuts, lock washers, lug nuts, what am I saying? Gives you all the washers and the lock washers as well. So, and here are the little screws that are gonna hold this mount to the frame. Even gives you the little Allen keys to do this. They did a great job. Okay, so now we've covered all the parts you get. Let's get these guys on. But first things first, always remember that this guy goes on first. All right, so we get our little bolts here. We'll get our lock washer on first. Always put that lock washer on first, followed by your washer. Okay, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. All right. Now we're gonna finger tighten these first right off the bat. This is an aluminum housing, so I can't go over how important it is not to over tighten on aluminum. Because once you do that, if you do it wrong, you are screwed. Okay, so again, lock washer first, followed by washer. I'm gonna get this bad boy on. There we go. And now we're just gonna put we're gonna snug these up. We're not gonna go super tight, just so we can move it. We can change the angle of the actual light when it's on the vehicle. Because you might want to angle it down or sideways or whatever. It's up to you. So it chipped already, perfect. Okay, so and again, that will slide in nicely. So we're good there. All right, so I'm not going to show you how to do both of them. It's pretty self-explanatory. So get those done. So the next step, of course, will be to get the wiring through the bay, get it all ready to rock and roll, and take off the A-pillar mounts and run that wiring through. And then you're going to put these guys on, and we'll button it all up, and then we'll see if it works. Thanks for watching. Here are all the wires that came with the aux lights, right? But it had a whole bunch of other stuff, like it had like a built-in fuse and all that stuff. So what I did here is I took the two grounds and the two positives and I joined them with these little nifty little guys here. I love these things. These are the butt connectors, but you can also then use your heat gun, which I did, and it kind of seals them, which is nice. So just make sure you get the right ones for the right size. These were like 16 gauge, so if you're doing the aux, these wires are 16 gauge. And you just buy the 16 gauge ones, and then you can connect these two, and then I've got my other positive. This one here will go into the box switch, and then of course the ground here I will ground to the chassis. But that's all I use is my trusty crappy little Amazon heat shrink gun, and then these guys right here, add them on, that's it. Then you're ready to install and put the wiring to the box switch. Be really careful with these. We don't want to wreck the paint, right? I think we can almost use it. Yeah, just to speed her up a little bit here. Hopefully that should be enough to run that wire through. Oh, there we go. And here you don't even have to do it too hard, just like maybe a couple of turns and then take it out with your fingers. Okay, now here's the part where you use the spacer and the bolt provided to you from KC with the mounting bracket. You're just going to finger tighten it, and then they actually provide an Allen key to go back and tighten it up. This is where I use my 14mm wrench. It was really stupid. So on the driver's side, you'll see I did it a little bit differently. Here I'm putting in the really small bolts that hold the bracket to the actual light itself. When putting the windshield bolt back in, make sure you're not over tightening this. You're only going to do a couple of things to snug it up here, just a couple of turns. You don't want to wreck that paint, but it doesn't need to be super tight either. Alright, so let's start getting these guys off. This is a T40. Alright, so I'm not sure how much I got on my last video. So as you can see here, I took all the T40s out, took this panel right off, put this on. I put this bracket on first with this one, just because it made my life easier to put that on because it's windy as hell out. So when I put that on, I can just put that on really quickly. So I'll put you back up here in the mount so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to use these bolts that came with the bracket, hand tighten these. There we go. That won't drop. Put it on the other side as well. And again, hand tighten because it is aluminum. We don't want to wreck that. Alright, so now I can get rid of my trusty towel and tighten these up. Not sure. Put them angled down if I want them angled straight. Doing kind of straight. I got the same angle on the actual bracket itself. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so here's the wire from my lights. I've got it pretty much taut all the way across. Yeah, I'll cut up inside there with the wire. Alright, so here's the male end. I'll just poke it right through this little part here. There we go, and then as you can see here, it just clicks in. There we go. That is now all watertight. There we go. There we go. So there we go right there. It's all nicely done. Running right through there. Very sweet. And now we'll go inside. We'll run the wire across. It is super windy, so if you can't hear me, I will have to edit it so you can. So I'm going to run pretty much close to what I did with my wires for the box switch. So we'll zip tie that first across there. Alright, so now what we're going to do too is we're going to link the other side here. And plug it in as well. Let's just make sure the cords aren't all messed up here. There we go. Alright. So we'll run this through the bottom here. We'll plug this in. I hear that click. There we go. What I'll probably end up doing is just zip tying a whole bunch of this extra cord and putting it there, but for now let's just hook the ground up as well and make sure it's working. Okay, so before you put this thing, make sure you put that through there first, then go through your hole. Okay, we got that through the switch one. Clamp down here. Okay. Get this tight so it's like waterproof. There we go. Alright. And now we will put this guy there. That's the ground I took off earlier. connections on both. Here is my amazing soldering. Alright, so let's clean this up. Everything works. So let's the wires all zip tied in here. Use these wires here to zip tie off. I'll do it super tight so I can pull everything taut. Alright, so I've got it all zip tied now. Let's cut off all these ends. Here's a little close-up of it, right? So here comes the wire from the passenger side underneath the phone. Right? Zip tied into my existing wire for the VO switch. Goes right across. Continues across there, connected to the VO switch, right? Then it splits, so I've got wire going to the driver's side. That's where I put my ground. Right there. Works alright. There was no pain on either side, so that's good. And then I had to cut the existing aux wire, and I just use these really nifty things here. And there we go, we're going into switch 1. Right there, everything works really good, so I'll show you now. And then maybe I'll do a nighttime little video to show you how bright they are. Because they did blind me. I stuck all my excess just underneath there and zip tied it. Let's get this lid back on. Let's turn this sucker on. I'll have to play around with them and see the best way to get them to work on it, but there we go. KC mounts, aux 3-inch pods. Not bad. Auxbeam lights are pretty darn bright. I just kind of ran it. There's a little gap right there. It's made very nicely for that. But there we go. I'll show you a better night shot.